Awesome. There we go. There's Kathy, Maureen, Vera. Yay. Awesome. And there's Judy. Yeah, I'm even late for this, huh? It's so wrong of me. I was taking a
Hey.
shower too. So how are you today? I'm wearing the official outfit of New Hampshire. Plaid flannel.
Flannel.
I
Plaid
love it.
flannel. Yeah, the official outfit of New Hampshire. Yeah, you know what I've got on? This is interesting, I think. Um, this beautiful, I'll show you the earring. This beautiful set was I don't know if it had more pieces, I don't remember, but it was the President's Club jewelry many years ago.
Oh, that's pretty.
I know, I love the earrings. These were, I think, President's Club or Honor Society, which is where I normally was at this point. Um, and this was actually counsel, which someone gave me. If he happens to be listening, it's Brian Seaton in Pennsylvania. Um, he was big into leadership for a while, and he hired me to speak to his team. And we had got those that year. And I mentioned how it's too bad I didn't have the whole set, and he gave me his because he was counsel. Wasn't that nice?
That was nice.
Yeah, and I love this set. It's just very pretty. I don't remember if there was a bracelet or not, but do remember that
It's
this was
pretty.
for counsel. So I don't know if anybody else remembers it. That may be too far back, but I'm wearing it today. I love it. I haven't worn it that often because my system didn't have the pieces that match stored together,
Uh,
which is a strategic error.
I'm amazed at how easily you get those earrings in and out.
Oh, somebody else said that to me too. I never thought about it that much. Why do
Yeah.
you have to look in the mirror?
Oh, yes.
Oh, sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm sitting there poking and I can't seem to. I've got two. The second one is harder to find without the mirror. Mm.
Mine have all closed, but I have, I think, 4 or 5 holes on one side and
Oh,
just one on the other and one on the other. And then I used to have this little thing right here pierced,
oh, yeah, yeah.
but when I had my thyroid surgery, because they had to cauterize my neck, the doctor made me cut it off,
Oh, ow.
and
Oh,
I just never put
That's
it.
called something, right? It doesn't begin with D.
I think so. Yeah. And I
Yeah,
had
that
it for like, my God, I had it forever. And it was
wow.
so bad that it was welded on. Like literally I couldn't get it off to
Oh,
leave it
wow.
in
So
there.
they cut it off for you? Wow. Ugh.
Yeah, it was a very little tiny hoop, just a very little tiny hoop, but it was there.
Well, today what I wanted to talk about was whether you're dealing with, well, let's back up. This is going to be a little bit of a well, like I'm ever not long-winded, sorry, but right. Um, in this day and age, where you can get stuff easy on Amazon, you can just open the app, order whatever you want. It comes exactly what you wanted right to your house. There has to be a reason that customers are willing to order from you and wait for the delivery. And it may ship right to them depending on what your company is or whatever your products are. But most of the direct sales companies, I'm not saying all of them, they have great products, but they're not so unique that it's not a commodity. You know what I mean? It's plastic bowls or lipstick or face cream or diet drinks or whatever it is. So it's the relationship that you have with the customer that's going to get them to come back to you and going to get them to interact with you and wait for their stuff and sometimes pay a little more to get it from you. So to me, that's got to be the paramount thing is to provide enough value so that your customer feels that they're willing to do that. They're not just going to go, you know what, I need a face cream today. I'm just going to go down to Rite Aid and get a face cream. They have to be saying, no, no, you know what? I want Lisa to get my regular face cream that I always use and love. And I love calling her because she's fun and she's pleasant to talk to. and she always acts like it's good news to hear from me. And I always get a thank you note from her too. And she writes little smiley faces on my bag when she delivers. The little stuff is what's going to keep them with you. They're not going to get that kind of value running down to the store and getting it. The only thing they're going to get is the quick fix of getting the item. So you have to overcome that by providing lots of value. Now, of course, send out cards can help in lots of different ways with that. One of the most obvious is thank you cards, which we talk about a lot. But let's talk about some other ways that you could provide value. We all know Facebook espionage, which I'm going to do one of here in a second. But intentionally look up your customers on Facebook and see what's going on with them if they don't happen to come across your feed. Look up your customer on Facebook or on Twitter or whatever and grab pictures that they're posting that are important to them. Put it on the front of a card and send it to them. That's value that they're not going to get down at the store. They're not going to get people to care about them. They're not going to get people to care about what's important to them. So that's one easy way to do it.
That's a
And
big way, I think.
I think so too. Yeah, that's why I love doing that, and I like calling it Facebook espionage. And sometimes your customers, oh, you gotta talk amongst yourself. It's through nursing home. I gotta get it. My mom.
Guys, I'm eating my breakfast. I'll be back as soon as I'm done.
It's almost lunch here in Florida.
Yeah, it's only 10 o'clock here in Vegas.
I see.
Yeah, so I'll be back.
Okay.
Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, as you may or may not have heard, Grammy's coming back home. So that was the occupational therapist. They're going to help me with the transition back to the house. So, and the reason, and I'll be happy to tell you because don't make the mistakes I made. The nursing home is 10,800 per month. And uh, that's beyond that's beyond my
ridiculous.
capabilities. And the reason that Medicaid's not going to pay is because I put my mother's name on all of my money in my house because I was raising a child that I adopted, and I wanted to make sure if I died, she'd have access to the money. But that also means they consider it hers. So they're gonna make me sell the house, take all my money if I don't figure out something different. So we're gonna have to do plan B, and she's gonna come back here, but they're gonna help me. She's got a social worker, and we got all kind of stuff going on. So I've got room for her. That's not a problem. So
Good.
right. So that's what we're doing. We're just my word for the year is embrace. Right. Embracing the bumps, right? You got to embrace it. So, and matter of fact, that is something that one of the cards that I'm sending right now is because on the Go Giver Success Alliance call yesterday, we spent the whole hour talking about people's word of the year theme, what they were, and what it meant to them. And everybody did theirs real quick and everything, but I wrote them down. I have all of their addresses. So, matter of fact,
Oh,
right,
cool.
let's do one together. I did one already this morning, but let's do another one because these are so easy to do. And last year when I did them, they were a big hit. Whoops. Instead of instead of share screen, I did minimize. Let's do one together. This is in the same line of thinking though, because I know I was talking about bringing extra value to customers, but it's the same thing you want to do for prospective customers so that they feel the love before they even do business with you. Okay, so all of these guys in the Go Giver Success Alliance, many of them are my customers, but I want them to see what kind of service I provide. So what I do when I'm doing one of these cards And I look here, somebody else's word of the day, I mean, word of the year was growth. And this was the picture I found. So what I do is I just put it in the search, whatever the search is. And this other one that I know I have is addressed for is creativity. That's Don King's word of the year. So then I just look, I like this one. Look at that.
Mhm.
That's spiffy. That looks
Yeah.
creative, like creativity. And then, so I'm going to take that because I'm going to put the word right here. I can add the word in.
Oh, good. I want to see how to do that too.
Oh, good. So I'm going to do print screen and it's going to let me do exactly what I want, how much I want of the picture right here. So that's what I'm going to do. Now that just went to hopefully my screenshots. That was a screenshot. Now I'm going to go here and I'm going to do build your own. I'm going to do customize a flat card and then next and then current editor. And then hopefully that screenshot took. If it don't, I'll just go back and do it again. So image and then upload image and screenshots. I'm already in there because I did the other one. There it is right there. And there it goes. Okay, so that's on the front of a flat card. Now I'm just going to click on text right here. And it gave me a text box. This works only on the front of a build your own. You can't add a text block to a stock card. So this is a build your own only, okay? And I'm
So
going to
you
write,
put the photo there first and then the text box.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm going to, his word is create, creativity, okay? And then I'm going to highlight it. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to change the color to white because I think I'm going to put it right in the middle and I think it'll show best with white, but I may need to change it. And then up here, I'm going to pick a font that's kind of creative looking. I don't know. I kind of like the, oh yeah, see, look at it, isn't that kind of cute?
Mhm.
And then up
Yeah.
here, I can make it bigger. And then I'm going to make the box itself a little bit smaller and then see where it goes to the hash mark there. You see that happen?
Mhm.
The cross sign. That means I can click down on it and then move that box around.
Got it. Got it.
Okay. So see, I think you can read that right there. Have I got it?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you read that good right there?
Mhm.
Creativity. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the back side. And this is a flat card, so there's just the front and the back. And I'm going to say, thank you, Dawn, for sharing your word theme of 2024 with us. And then I'm going to do, I've been putting this on my stuff with them, even though they're not doing it, but I'm doing it. So make up my own thing, Team Go Giver. Okay, so then I'm going to highlight that, make it my own personal font, which right now it's cheap to get your own personal font. You only pay that once, by the way. And then the background, I'll just make some nice, cute little light green, and that's it. So this card took me like a minute.
Can you go back over how you made that background light green?
Yes. Here on the left, see the word background?
Okay.
When you click on that, it gives you this color grid. And then you just pick, and it has a bubble here. You can actually move this around to make the color different. See?
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. And then this one makes a whole different color.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm clicking on it and moving it around the bubbles. You also can just click on it. Okay. You also can type in a color if you happen to know all the color numbers, but I don't. So let me make that just a little bit darker. So that's that. So and then proceed to check out. This is so easy. I can do it for everybody and not much time. Okay, and this is going to be considered a heartfelt card because I'm doing it to a single person and sending it immediate. So it'll be in my subscription, which is 10 a day. So now I want to add the recipient, and it's Don King, which I know I have his address right there. And then done. So there's the card. There's Don King. Yay. And my return address, by the way, has all of my stuff on it. Where's my return address so I can show you? There's my return address. It has the Bluehead Card Sender is a SendOutCards thing. You go on there and you get the 10 card challenge. It also has my Avon URL, my contact information, and my address. So it's got the whole shoot and match. You can do that on there. You can put whatever you want on there. Okay. And then I'm going to say checkout. And you'll notice it says 0 because it's included in my subscription. Confirm and send. So if I wasn't talking so much, that would have taken me about, what, a minute, right?
And yeah, can I
So
say something?
please.
Judy, are you there?
Judy Morgan?
Judy? Yeah. Lisa Wilber, as you know, I had a very hard week this week. I said that in the call the other day. You know, we send cards to people and we know how they make us feel, and we don't always know. They tell us sometimes, well, Judy Morgan, I had a very hard week this week. And I got this beautiful card from the quote that I put on from Judy. And what
Oh,
she wrote to me, it's even doing it now. It brought tears to my eyes because it was the sweetest. And if it's okay with Judy, I want to share it. It says, Maureen, you are one sweet, thoughtful lady that I am grateful to have gotten to know through Lisa Wilber's Facebook groups. Never doubt your potential and continue being the generous giver that you are. You make the world a better place and inspire me to do the same. Smiles and a hugs, Judy. I got this
Awesome.
yesterday, and it it's this is not fake. This is real. This is what it did to me yesterday because I've had such a hard couple of weeks, and this week especially was hard for me. So don't ever wonder what these cards mean to people. They come to people when they need them the most.
that was
And
so awesome, Judy.
I needed this week, and it means the world to me.
That is so awesome, Judy. And thank you for sharing that, Maureen, because it's exactly why we do this. And it's exactly what you want your customers and your team members to feel too. When you see somebody that you think they need a card, or even if they just come to your mind, lots of times that is the universe telling you to send them a card. They call that promptings. But that's, oh, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, it came at the perfect time, and yeah.
Oh, that's
So just know
awesome.
that what we do does make a difference.
Maureen wrote in the comments, you are so welcome, Maureen. So, yay. Thank you very much. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so let's I want to give you another example about providing value. So one of the ways you can do it is don't wait for a customer or a team member to come up in your feed. Go look to see what they're posting or what they're talking about on Twitter or whatever it is. Go look and see. Not always do people put pictures. So sometimes you're going to have to be creative. Like in the case of me doing the word, sometimes that's what it is their word of the week. They're putting something like that, and you can still make a card out of it. Um, this also works like with prospects. So this is the example I wanted to show you. And I know some of you have heard this one before, but I'm sitting at the Jiffy Lube. Right. This is like I do this all the time. I'm sitting at the Jiffy Lube waiting for the van. And the lady, a couple chairs over in the waiting room's also waiting for her ride. And she's talking to her daughter on the phone, and they're complaining about Great Wolf Lodge's prices down in Massachusetts, and we're up in New Hampshire. So she's going on and everything. And at the end, when she hangs up, she sees my van in the window. She says, "You don't happen to be the Avon person, do you?" I said, "Yeah, yes, absolutely, that's me." And she said, "Do you have a book with you?" And I said, "I got something better. I've got all the books." I said, "You got your phone? Take your phone out." So I hand her, I open Shuffle, hand it to her. She puts her name and her phone number in it and hands it back. And I send her the shuffle card for my Avon business. Now, that might have been the end of the contact, but what happened was I got home and I'm thinking to myself, if I'll look her up on white pages. So I was able to do that by searching backwards for her phone number and found her. Okay. And then, of course, I looked on Facebook and stuff to see if I could connect. But I remembered her talking about her complaining about the Great Wolf Lodge thing. So I thought instead of just sending a card, it was good to meet you. I'm going to send her a good to meet you card, but I'm going to look online to see if there's any that I can do screenshots of coupons for Great Wolf Lodge. So she knows I was paying attention to something that means something to her. So that's what I did. I Google search Great Wolf Lodge. So I think you can bring value to even people that might do business with you if you always look for it. So sometimes it's just listening, or sometimes it's watching what they post. You know, somebody might be having a dinner party coming up and they're talking about it on Facebook, and you go send them a card, like maybe a 3-panel card with examples of charcuterie boards that you've taken from Facebook, or recipes for cute drinks or something that's going to help them with their dinner party. So it's listening to what they're saying or typing, or when you're with them in person and saying, I wonder if there's a way I could add value to the situation, or if I could offer some assistance, or if there's some way I could do this. And lots of ways you can do that on a card. So go ahead, Maureen.
You know what I did when my husband's brother and his wife, they just celebrated their, I think it was their 33rd wedding anniversary. So I went to Canva and I typed in 33rd, 33 wedding anniversary, or however I worded it. And I got this poem, like this little poem. It was like
Perfect.
10,042, blah, blah, blah. So I got this little poem. So that was the cover of my card. Then I went to Chat GPT and I said, can you please write a short poem for, and I put their names in it, being married for 33 years. And I got this really cute little poem that I put in the card. And then I just wished them a happy anniversary.
I love doing that. The Chat GPT thing is so awesome for that. That's one of the biggest uses I've done is poems.
Yeah.
Right. And now they've got that other thing on Bing. You can have
Yep.
it do images for,
Yes.
and I saw somebody in the Avon graphics group on Facebook. She's asking it to like make me a cartoon lady with blue hair that has earrings on, that's selling cosmetics, that has Avon written on her shirt. And it'll come up with that. And matter
Yeah.
of fact, a bunch of them, like 6 different ways of it. So you could do that with a customer or whatever. Make me a picture of a lady with brown hair that's walking her dog, or whatever the customer's, interested in. So I think our job is really more of like a detective slash good listener, and writing notes. And by the way, if you are using SendOutCards, you can put notes in your contact manager. So you can keep all of that stuff in one place if you want to. If you're not happen to be using the contact manager, you can do a notebook if you want to. It's not how you're doing it, it's that you're doing it that makes a difference. Years ago, before I had Facebook, I just had index cards for my customers, and I had them with me in a little box, the little metal box in the car, because when I delivered somebody, lots of times I'd hear them say their dog's name, or hear them say their kid's name or their husband's name, and I'd go out to the car and make notes before I forgot it. That way, when I looked them up and I was talking to them next time, I could say, is Jill selling Girl Scout cookies yet? Because one of my other friends was looking for Girl Scout cookies, and I noticed she was in the troop when I was there. And little stuff like that means a lot to customers. They ain't going to get that kind of thing at Rite Aid. You know what I mean? And that's what you want. You want every interaction with you to be a positive experience. Okay. Does that does that make sense? think of an example. If you would share an example of uh, when you've bought from somebody where they went beyond, above and beyond, and you remembered it because of it. Do you have an example you can think of? No? How about anybody else? Kathy? No? Rhonda?
Mhm.
Where they've gone above and beyond. You know who does it with me is the guy that I bought my car from. I bought that car, I think 13 years ago, right? He only earned one commission off of me. I only bought from him once. He put me on his email list. He sends me a calendar every year. When I first bought the car, he sent me a calendar with me on it, me with the car, because he took my picture that day that I bought the car, and the kid's in the picture. The kid's little, right? So
Yeah,
any little thing, and I remembered it all this time later. That car is what, 13, 14 years old. The
yeah.
kid was
My
6.
lawyer, one of my first lawyer, one of my lawyers, my first lawyer, sends me birthday cards every year.
Yeah, and that's well, that's one of my things anyway, that's easy to do.
Yeah,
Uh
he sends me
Send out.
birthday cards every year, but and it's, you would think I had carpeting put in last year. I had that horrible mess that Lowe's created in my kitchen, but I had the contractors, I had all those people. I sent them cards. They didn't send me cards. I sent them cards.
And that's all right too.
Yes.
Because now the other thing I have a motto of here is I want to be the best customer, not just the best supplier as an Avon representative or SendOutCards representative or whatever I'm doing. I want to be the best customer too, because people will send business your way when you help them too.
Yep.
So the one that I think of right away, of course, is I call him Stockhouse. This is his last name, like we're in the military together, but he's my plow guy and the landscape guy, both. Now he sent me my bill for this last plowing. I paid it within an hour of him sending it to me. Even when I'm gone, if I'm away, I made sure that I had the PayPal app on my phone. I used to meet him and give him the cash because that's what he wanted. I said, you know what, we could do family and friends because I know you that well. Do you take PayPal? Let it go right to your account. That way I can pay you quicker. If I'm out of town, I want to be able to pay you immediately. So he set that up so I could pay him right away. And I do. He knows if he needs money and he's done work here, that he can get me to pay him fast. So
Yes.
that what that also means is a couple times, not often, but a couple times I've said, hey, Peter, I'm coming in, my flight's like 11. I know you don't normally plow after a storm till the next morning. Is there any way you can, you don't have to make it pretty, but just get me so I can go down back to get in the garage so I get out of your way? Because if not, I'll be in your way. I'll pull into the yard going 60 just to get off the highway, but I'll be stuck in the snowbank there. And when I got home, he had already finished the whole thing. And I'm not sure he'd have done that had I not been a good customer,
Right.
right? Because he went out special for me. So I'm not doing it for that reason. I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do. And when you do the right thing, when you like do the right thing out in the universe, I think it always comes back to you because karma's
It's like,
bad.
yeah, it's like that lady at the tire shop. We went and got our oil changed. And then there was a problem with and we had our air conditioning checked. And there was a problem with the air conditioning. So, but I had sent her a card because on top of doing the oil change, we did something with the tires. And she called over to AutoZone and said, hey, these guys are coming over. This is what they need. Can you have it waiting there? The husband's disabled. And she didn't have to do that. So I sent her a card thanking her for that. Well, then we started having problems with the air conditioning like 2 weeks after we had it checked. So I called, but she wasn't at that store. She was at a different store. So we went to the other store in front of all the other customers. I walk in and she goes, I got your card. I loved it. Matter of fact, I'm stealing a picture frame from these guys here so I can put it up on the wall.
Oh, that's awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome. And anything that you can do to make the experience with your customer, your prospective customer, stand out is in a good way
Yeah.
is going to set you apart. They're not only going to want to do business with you, they're going to want to refer business with you. When someone says, this is what I shoot for. If someone that's in my sphere of knowing me, if someone says to them, do you know anybody that does Avon? I've been looking for an Avon rep. I want them not to hesitate. I want them to, oh, I know exactly who. I know exactly who sells Avon. I will get you their number. They're not going to think about the other 149,999 reps in the country. They're going to think of me because they had a positive experience with me, and that's how they remember. So I think that we all have to put ourselves in the other person's shoes. And you have to really kind of make it a lifestyle. You can't just turn it on and off for if you think they're going to buy from you. I see a lot of people do that. They're like mean to other people or
Yeah.
short or rude or whatever you want to say because they think I'm never going to they're never going to buy from me, so why should I be nice to them? And I think you can't really do that because you don't know when you just make it a lifestyle of making everybody that comes in contact with you have a positive experience. You don't know who's going to refer you a customer that could change your business. You just don't know who it's going to be. They may never buy from you. They may refer 10 customers to you. Go ahead, Maureen.
I learned a long time ago, you never know who someone knows. And do you remember back in the day when the old Kmart's, when the service desks, the register set up really high?
Yeah.
Remember those? Well, I was on the service desk at working at our local Kmart, and they
Was
took
that so
numbers.
you
They
could see the blue light? So that you guys could see
pro-
the
probably, but I had a bunch of people at the service desk, and I helped the next person, this person standing here. Well, there was this shorter little lady, but she was standing in front of the register and I couldn't see her. She was my store manager's next door neighbor.
Oh,
She went home and told the store manager that I ignored her.
oh,
And that's how I learned at the age of 16 to always pay attention because you never know who someone knows.
right. Well, and it should, if you are living like a go-giver philosophy in your life, it shouldn't be, it shouldn't matter when you meet somebody. If you try to get it out of your head what they're going to do for you and start thinking, well, how can I bring value to them? Or how can I make
Mhm.
sure everyone that is in my life has a positive experience with me? You're going to get more business. Your business is going to flourish. Is it's better that way instead of trying to sit there and judge each person. Am I going to earn money off of them?
Right. Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And this comes into play is over all these years in Avon, I've seen a lot of people, a lot of the top leaders not want to interact with non-downline because they're not going to make money off of them. They assume they're never going to make money off of that person because they're already in Avon, right? It doesn't work that way. There may be other reasons that you want to interact with them. You could get other things done. And a
Mm.
couple examples of that would be because I've never felt that way. I try to make interacting with me positive. That's the best way I can say it. When it came time to do that book set, A View from the Top, I knew the other 64 senior executives, and you had to buy into that book. You got books for buying in, but you had to buy into that project. All 64 of them bought in because they knew me. I was the only common denominator in that book set. So that wouldn't have happened if I'd have gone around all those years and saying, you know what, I'm not talking to you or your downline because I'm not going to make any money off you. And
Right.
it's not that I made a bunch of money off of them being in the book, but I'm really proud of having done that book. I think it helped a lot of people, that book set. I think it
Mhm.
helped all of us and a lot of people, but I wouldn't have been able to get that accomplished had I not freely interacted with all of those people all of those years. I wouldn't have been able to call them and say, hey, you know what? I'm doing this book project. You want in? Because they would have not had a connection with me. They wouldn't have known who I was or positively had a connection with me.
Mm.
I've talked to people in other direct sales companies that were earning more than me and had them not want to talk to me because I was below their station or whatever. And I don't ever want somebody to feel that way. So I think, even if you haven't had that experience, try to be the one that doesn't do that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Don't base your interactions on what you're going to get out of it. Flip that, reframe that and think, what can I provide this person? Maybe it's just a smile today. Maybe I'm just going to be the person that says thank you when they don't ever hear that.
And
Maybe,
you
maybe,
never know who's having a bad day either, and whose day that you can help by being kind, because people are not kind anymore. There are not kind people in the world anymore. I know our little group, our little safe group is very kind, but there are not people out there are not kind. And I've witnessed it myself. I've witnessed people almost knock my husband down in Costco because he's not walking fast enough with a shopping cart. And it's just I've seen it and I'm like, wow, I don't, why are you in such a hurry? You're not getting anywhere faster. So I
well,
agree. If you
us being kind and us reframing the situation to bring value is contagious too. So if other people are not that way, we can have a positive effect one person at a time by not doing that too, by not
Yeah,
joining in. You know what I mean? I think we can, and that's basically what I like so much about send out cards, because even if you can't do it at that moment, you can send them a card at that moment, and in a couple days they can revisit the
mhm,
feeling. You know what I mean? And it just makes it so easy to I don't know, spread the love.
yeah, the mailbox love. Yeah,
Right. Let's do an espionage before I
let's
get
do it.
too going here. Okay, let's go over to Facebook. See what Facebook is doing today. Oh, there's my
I
oh, did
love
you see
that.
what happened with that?
I
My
love that.
this okay, this I love these stories that grow from something. Okay, so I get this email from the Avon employee in my area, Jessica Malarkey. I'm not sure what her title is. I don't keep track of that stuff. And she said, um, like dream color, no, what she call it? A vision board challenge or whatever. Send me your vision board by whatever Friday, and somebody might get something out of it. I think she's gonna send them a product or something or feature them or something. And I thought, at first when I heard that, I thought, and then I thought, well, why not? Why don't I just make one? And she suggested Canva, and I thought, ooh, I'll go on Canva and see what they got. This is from
Mhm.
Canva. And they had all of these picture boxes, and I was just able to put my own pictures in and then add some things. I added this, I added the words that I put. That's the next car I'm going to be driving right there is the Kia Carnival. Um, of course, the leadership thing, that's my house. So I was added some stuff on it to the side, but I thought this came out kind of cute.
It came out really nice. I liked that.
Yeah, and then of course I sent it to myself on a card. I did that already. And then let me show you what happened with the on Facebook. Um,
Mhm.
anything that I'm going to do, I'm going to try to get extra mileage out of. So I thought, well, I'll make a reel out of it. I read that whole thing. I know I told you this before, Maureen, but that whole thing about Barb Miller saying it has to be a video. And I'm like, I don't know, it depends, I think. So I made a reel of that and it went over 1,000 in 24 hours. Look at that,
Yeah. I'm
1,100. And it's not
I'm
in yeah, what do you gonna say? Huh?
I'm trying to get better to do reels, but I am just not. It's I don't, again, here comes the unself-confidence. Um, I don't think I have enough interesting things to make a reel out of.
But you know what? Don't filter it. Just make some because now I'm up to 80. I think most of mine are not interesting either. Matter of fact, almost all of mine are a picture with some music on them.
Yeah.
And if I listened to what other people say would work, I wouldn't have done half of these. But I'll show you this one. This is so basic to have gone over 1,000, I'm stunned. I'll play it for you. This is
Every night I lie in bed, the
That's it.
brightest colors
Wow.
fill my head, a million dreams that
And
keep.
it went over 1,000, and it's easy to make them. You can't make them on the laptop. You have to do them on the phone. But
On the
all
phone,
I did,
yeah.
yeah, all I did was add this word, add that sticker, put the little stars that come out, and then all their little options on the phone. And then I put said lady with the blue hair with the hashtag,
Yeah.
because that's my thing. That's it. But to have it go 1,000 is, I don't know why, because you can't even read it that good.
Yeah.
Now the
Like-
other one I understood better. The other one was this one.
Yeah.
That was my big one, 6,400. I'll play that one.
Roll on,
Love that.
roll on along, roll on, daddy, till you get back.
This is a screenshot of a Facebook group post. That's all it is. I don't think half of this stuff is interesting, but when I see something happen, I think, well, maybe that'll work. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I think not judging it, because what happens if you put one up that doesn't work? It doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
So I would say just put, because I've got some that don't have many. Let me get one. I've got a couple hundred ones or something, I think. 200. This one didn't work that much, 238. And I think I even got some smaller than that. And over time, you know what? Some of these that weren't many got views because some of my big ones, the people went back to see what else I was doing.
Mm.
So I would just start throwing them up there, to tell you the truth.
I
That's
do
it.
a lot of stories, but I don't do reels. I put stuff in my stories. That
Oh, and yeah, I don't do that because those disappear. I
right,
was
because
thinking
like I
more,
did
yeah,
I did the one the other day of I got my replenishment of all my face creams.
yeah,
So I have put them in my bathroom, and I have one of those spice stands. So it
Yep.
stands 3 high. So I have a picture of that, and I put that in my stories. Maybe I should put that in my reels.
or
Because
both. You don't have to
yeah.
pick. I like things that are like a library of stuff, because over all this time there is one thing that I've realized is, like, when I run into somebody, let's say I run into somebody at a rest stop going to Yonkers,
I don't know
let's
if you
say.
can see, you can't see it.
Oh, I can a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just say I run into somebody the first time on a rest stop going to Yonkers, and they just met me, or like the radio guy, right? Then he can look back at all this stuff. Where if it
That's
was a
true.
story, there's not a whole bunch of stuff he can look back at. That's true with YouTube, because there's just a library of stuff they can look at. So somebody that's interested in me and what I'm doing can go back and look at a bunch of stuff. So that's what I'm trying to do, is just put up enough stuff that they have a library of stuff to look at.
Plus,
So
I
I
think
don't,
the right music, when you have the right music with the right photos, like that Avon Carr one. I love that music that you.
oh, is that it?
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
know what that was? Can I tell you a naughty thing about that?
Okay, let's hear
Okay. You're like, yeah, let's hear it. Oh, that's why I like you, Kathy. Yeah. Okay, so this I won't tell you what part of the anatomy that we jokingly called a kitty. But the kitty was driving the car because I was driving back from Yonkers. And in the song they say mama and daddy or something like that. Let's hear it again. I forgot.
Roll on highway, roll on along, roll on, daddy, till you get back home. Roll on family, roll on crew, roll on mama, like I asked you to.
We call each other mama and daddy. That is so bad. That is wrong.
No, Jelly Roll and Bunny call each other Mama Bear and Papa Bear, and Daddy and Mama. And look how famous and how much in love they are. So don't even worry about it.
So I was just putting in little cute things that were funny to us is what I was doing.
Yeah.
But sometimes that works, sometimes it don't. But I thought that was funny, the kitty driving the car.
Kathy,
But
we made
anyway.
her blush again. We made her blush.
Oh, that is so naughty. Okay, let's do an espionage. Oh, there's Heidi. do I have Heidi's? I love those pictures of her. Let me look at, so I grabbed my phone. This is what I would normally do. Open the SendOutCards app where you can send a card. Look to make sure I have Heidi's address before I go and build that card. Headi, and it's Moss. Yes, I do. I have Heidi's address, so that's perfect. So let's just grab this. I haven't sent her a card in a while because that is awesome. She takes such good selfies. She did a whole series of ones where it showed a selfie when she took it and a picture when she let her husband take it. It was hilarious. Just that little thing was funny. So now let's go. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna that's gonna be my espionage. So this is gonna be fast and dirty. Okay, let's do build your own. Let's do up and down. Let's do customize flat card. Next, I'm doing flat. If you have questions, yell them out. I'm going fast and dirty because it's espionage. Espionage. Doesn't that sound good? So I'm going to change the layout to 4, and I'll show you why.
It's better than saying stalker.
Espionage. Yeah, AKA stalker.
Stalker.
Yeah. So now those 2 pictures I took, I'm going to put in here, and then I'm going to put flowers in the other boxes. So downloads. Here we go.
She's pretty.
Isn't she gorgeous? She does.
I love her red hair. I love it.
Unbelievably awesome selfies she does too. So now I'm going to do a second one here of that one. And then the other 2 boxes, I'm going to put pictures of flowers, which I already have on here. So I'll do one up here, and I'll do, so this one.
Going back to talking about Facebook and the real, sorry, Lisa. My my coach says that we should show our face every 3 to 4 photos should have a picture of our face in it.
Awesome. That's a good idea.
So, and that's a problem I'm having. I don't like my face being, I don't like pictures. I don't like pictures of myself. So I have a hard time with that, but
what
I'm
makes you
trying to
think
get
I
better.
do? What makes you think I do?
Yeah.
But if you think about it now, how I got over that, well, let me finish this and then I'll tell you. Okay, here we go. So here we go. I just put flowers. Those pictures I stole off of Facebook. Somebody else posted those. I took them, but I think these are pretty. And then I'll put beautiful as a flower. A flower. And then hashtag love that grin. Okay. Love that grin. So now I'm going to highlight it, make it my own font. Beautiful as a flower. Love that grin. And then I'm just going to put a cute little background or something. There we go. And that's it. That's an espionage. So here we go. Go to the cart. What were we just talking about too?
Not like in our face, not like in our faces being shown.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Pictures of ourselves.
I'll tell you. Let me just send this. And okay.
Yeah.
Hiedi Moss. I didn't spell it right, did I? Oh, of course not. Eiddi Moss. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I don't always have their address, but I have hers, so that's helpful. If you're like me, try to add one a day. That has really worked out for me. I try to add somebody to my database every day. Check out. And this is going to be included because it's one of my heartfelt cards for today. You get 10 on the 97. There we go. So that's not going to cost me extra to send her this nice card. There. Now, wouldn't you be happy getting a card like that?
Yeah.
Espionage, yay. Okay, so now how I got over the whole picture thing. When you're doing speaking or something like that, it's really not about you. I mean, it's nice to think that. And matter of fact, I was telling Yonkers this too, because chances are at some point he's going to have to go to an Avon event with me if we keep it up, right? And I said, my husband number 2 didn't understand the assignment. And my how I look at stuff is when you're in the top in the country of any, I mean, I would say the top, I don't know, 20 at least, or 100 or whatever it is. If people come up to you and recognize you and want to take a picture, want you to sign their stuff or something, that's part of the job. That is part of the job. You can't say, no, I don't like my picture taken. You can, because in reality, it's not really about me. It's about them relating to me so
Right.
that they can do better in their job because I'm just like them. That's more what it's about. So I had to set aside the fact that it's about me. Now you're going to say, well, that's different because this is social media. Not really, because when you're posting on social media and you're showing pictures of you, you're really posting pictures so that customers will buy from you, but they want to see that you're like them. You know what I mean? That's why they want to buy from you. If you're like a fashion plate and you never have a hair out of place and you look gorgeous all the time, the average Joe or the average Jill that's going to want to buy from you is going to be like, I can't even deal with that. So they don't necessarily want you to be polished all the time. They want you to be you and be relatable.
Mm,
And, I was telling Jeff this the other night, the biggest compliment that I ever got, and I believe it happened over in Ireland. It was either England or Ireland. I had a lady stand in line, and she was a black lady, stand in line. Matter of fact, she had on one of those awesome outfits with the big hat and stuff. I know that's probably right. That is not correct, whatever I said, but she had a really awesome outfit on. She had a translator with her because she didn't speak English. She stood in line to tell me how much alike we were. And she was not my color. We didn't speak the same language, but she stood in line to tell me how much alike we were and how much she related to me. And I thought to myself, I'm doing my job right if she feels that way.
yeah.
Whatever stories I told and shared were real stories from my real life. And I'm so glad that I did that because she felt the same way. And that's what I wanted because she said to me, I wanted to feel like it was within reach that I could do, get to the top of the pay plan. And you made me feel that way because we're so much alike. So that's exactly what my job was. And that's the biggest compliment I can get when someone says that.
Yeah.
So I think reframe, you're thinking it's about you and it's not really. And what's the one thing, I don't know if you know this, what's the one thing everybody remembers that I do when I'm speaking? You know this?
No, because I've never seen you speak.
Take my shoes off. They all remember it. And I'm taking my shoes off because my feet hurt. But you know what? They all hurt too. They're all sitting there in high
Yeah.
heels and their shoes hurt too. But not hardly any of the corporate people are willing to take their shoes off. And I am because I'm like, oh no, I'm not doing an hour up here with my shoes on.
Right.
I take them off right off and I go barefoot and stuff. So I had
So do
to
you have a good pedicure?
no, no, not at all. That seems like I should though, doesn't it? And
Yeah,
now
with
I
some
don't.
Avon colors.
And now, well, you don't usually see my feet. I thought the number one guy who shall remain nameless, he stopped me like on the last trip because he just noticed all these times when I've gone in fancy long dresses, I've been shoeless. I just didn't carry the shoes. Usually I just left the shoes in the room. I had shoes. And he said, I cannot believe you went up on that stage without your shoes. I said, catch up, bud. I've been doing that for years. I'm like, you just now noticed. I don't know how you didn't notice that before. I have not worn shoes all these years. So I think I had to reframe it and realize it wasn't really about me. So I hope that helps some.
It does. It does.
It's
And
true.
also, a couple years ago, I heard Robin Roberts. She said something one morning, or something I was listening to, and I was like, that is such a good quote. But I never like really thought it through to figure it out. And over the last year, with all my issues, she says, "Make your mess your message. Make
Oh,
your
that's a
mess your
good one.
message." And I never really thought it through. Like, okay, because I was like, people don't want to hear about my things. And I was like, you know what though? I think there is somebody out there who might benefit from my things. I mean, I'm not going to go into detail with all my things, but I do think my thyroid issue and my Hashimoto's is a big one to let people know, think you can
Well, and
survive.
if you, in whatever business that you're doing, if you do the business and succeed regardless of that thing or those things, that's going to help people too.
Yeah.
Because I think my whole thing is about everybody needs to be personally responsible and be able to tote their own load. So I think you saying that I have this stuff going on, and yet look at I'm getting stuff done, I'm making progress towards my goals. That's important because there is people out there that are dealing with the same thing that can say, you know what, she's doing it, I can do it too. So I
And I'll
think,
tell
yeah,
you,
that's
after
important.
the chat we all had on Thursday night, I got out. I did because
Oh, good.
I was limiting myself because of my fear. I
And you were
I
thinking you had to do the whole books at once,
yeah, and
right?
I was limiting myself because of my fear because I was like, what if I fall? What if I can't move? That whole thing. And I realized after talking to you guys, I was like, I don't have to do it all. I don't have to be the bionic woman and do it all. I can do it in chunks because doing it in chunks is still going to get it out there. Not doing it all is not doing anything.
So
So,
for these guys weren't on that call. What we're talking about is Maureen had prepared Avon brochures to do like a brochure drop with, but was thinking more on the lines of I have to go out and do 60 at a time or whatever it is. And we were all saying, grab 5, even grab 1, grab 10, whatever, just get going, get some momentum rolling.
because I
So
had knee surgery that failed, so I have problems standing. So, and that was my fear, is that I'm going to fall or something's going to happen. So instead of taking 2 and walking down the street and give them to the new people that have moved in, I did nothing because of my fear. And that's why your postcard showing up, or your card showing up at the right time, Judy, because I had just had this meltdown Thursday night with them. So it just showed up at the perfect time.
oh, that's awesome. Well, I can't believe we already went a whole hour. What the hey? No, tonight I'm gonna put this up on YouTube, of course. You can see back Zooms that we talked about. I hope you'll take this opportunity to send a card at least today. Do a Facebook espionage and just know you're not going to get feedback from everybody. That's just not going to happen. But know in your heart that chances are the person that got your card really liked it. They just didn't necessarily say something to you. Lots of times it'll bring a response just like Maureen had from Judy's card. So just go out there and spread the love and send some cards. Once you get in the habit, it's hard to break the habit actually. I'd be
It
sending
is.
cards from Yonkers on the weekends. And he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm sending cards. What do you think I'm doing? He
I
wants to,
do need,
go ahead.
Lisa, I do need some addresses from you. So I'm going to message you. Are you free for the next few minutes so I can message you?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, indeed. Okay. So
All right.
everybody else, if you need help, just give a holler because I can always meet you on we can always do share screen. I can meet you one-on-one and show you something if you're stuck. Okay, so if you need help, just let me know. And of course, we have the Facebook group too. Post your stories in there for me because I love it when we get requests to send cards. I love it when we hear stories about a positive thing that happened when a card got received. So thank you very much for spending the hour. I appreciate it. And we will see you next time.
Thanks,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Lisa, bye, everybody.